Hey folks, today I want to talk about the power of access. Having access to something is one of the greatest desires in our life. For example, if you're hungry, you would like to have access to food. If you're thirsty, you'd like to have access to water. And if you want to get from A to B, you'd like to have access to any form of transportation, be it a car, a train, or a plane. In our current society, there is this one thing that grants us access to almost everything we can imagine: money. So what you usually do to acquire money is to work. So we educate ourselves to be qualified for a certain job that provides us with a certain amount of money, which again provides us with access to things we desire. Nothing bad about that, you might think, but at this point we have to look closer into the system. Access isn't just there, access isn't natural, not in our society, no. Access is being controlled by governments, big corporations, and the media. And why? Because it gives them power, and the one being the most powerful is the one with all the money and thus all the access. It's a vicious circle generated by a profit-driven ego an individual creates in this competitive society. The problem lies within our education. We're not being brought up to care about the planet and other people. We've been raised to be competitive. We've been raised to be a selfish individual, making the best of our life. But making the best of our life means having unlimited access, because that is what will make us happy. But what happens when people are being deprived from access? They start to infringe the law by stealing, or worse. People steal because they have a need for something they do not have access to. I mean, don't get me wrong, stealing is still a bad thing, but our governments have a completely wrong notion of solving issues like these. Because what they do is they punish people who are offending their holy laws. So they create the police to keep order, and they create prisons as places for all these bad people to go. What they really should do is look at the very origins of crime itself and get rid of any reason or motive a person could have to commit a crime. So they should look at this man who stole this $1,000 purse in this boutique and find out why he really did that. Maybe he had lost his job and still has a family to feed, or maybe he couldn't acquire a proper education to get a job that would have prevented him from stealing. There are many reasons why people are committing crimes, and there are also many solutions how to prevent them from it. So, is there a way to provide unlimited access for every single person on this planet? There is. But in order to achieve this, we would have to completely change our economy. But not only the economy of one country or nation. It is time to end national problem solving and start to think, and more importantly act globally. It is also necessary that we start cooperating instead of competing, because what we want to do is to create an abundance of resources so nobody should have to pay for their access. Now please don't laugh about that, because we really have the capability to achieve this. Our technological advancement is at a point where we really could make this happen. But there are some things we would have to rethink and change in our lives. The problem is that a government doesn't think and consider a change like this. The only thing a government does is simply repainting every single piece of the puzzle, expecting the picture to get better. The sad thing is that many people fall for this facade and they do not look beneath the surface. They do not see what is going on with the laws they make and the money they take. In fact, a government doesn't have any power at all. It is money that has the power, and thus the people who have heaps of it. So these people, they don't want anything to change in this world where they are the self-glorified winners. So again, the first step into a new society which will care about each and everyone on this planet depends on you. Not your neighbor, not your father or mother or your boss. It only depends on you and what you are willing to change within yourself and furthermore in your world, our world. So in the next episode I'm going to talk about this resource-based economy which could displace our current system, and I'm really sure that this current system won't last much longer, and if it goes down there has to be an alternative, and you people should know about it so we could make it come true. So if you're still up for change and you still want to get more into this, just to subscribe to this channel, and I'm also going to put down some links of some other videos and films. You should definitely check them out. So if you haven't heard about the Zeitgeist movement or the Venus Project before, they're simply talking about all these things I'm talking about, or I'm talking about the things they talk about. Let's say it this way around. But I just shorten it down so it is easier for you to understand, hopefully, and yeah, so definitely check them out. It's just a couple of hours and it will be worth it. And yeah, I think that's it for today's episode. See you next week, hopefully. Thanks for watching.